Hey, my name is Phil and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing an email marketing software called Moosend. And in this Moosend review, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly what Moosend is, how it works, who it's for, and I'm also going to be showing you how you can get set up very quickly to save you time and effort. Now, just to let you know, I have also left a link in the description if you want to get started with Moosend. You can get up to 1,000 subscribers for free, and you don't even need to enter any credit card information. It's extremely powerful. So, first of all, what is Moosend? Well, Moosend is actually an email marketing platform that was launched in 2012. It's only recently had a big makeover and big launch though. In fact, I jumped on board a long time ago. I've been with Moosend for a very long time, so I know a lot about the platform. But it is one of these platforms that is trying to compete with the big competitors in the market. Specifically for this one is Mailchimp. So it's Mailchimp's biggest competitor right now, I believe. And what they're pretty much trying to do is create an affordable email marketing solution so you can actually get started without too much of a budget and get the results that you're looking for. Now, recently, Moosend has actually increased the user experience a lot. When I first started a few years ago with Moosend, it was a little bit clunky. There was a few things missing, but upon reviewing it just this morning, I've seen how much of an improvement they've actually done to the user experience. So it is now one of probably my favorite email marketing tools out there. So I'm going to be deep diving into Moosend over the next few months. So what I'm going to do right now is actually jump behind the screen and I'm going to show you how to get set up with Moosend and how the whole thing works. Okay, here we are. First of all, we'll start on the Moosend website just to show you a few of the Moosend features that they have. There is the email marketing as well as landing pages, newsletter editors, personalizations, reporting analytics, integrations, tracking, e-commerce, subscription forks, and marketing automation. So there is a lot of things inside of it. Now, just before I get into the dashboard, I just want to show you the pricing quickly as I do on every video that I review. So basically, if you are having up to 1,000 subscribers, perfect for someone that's just starting out or just want to play around with the platform just to see what it's like, you won't have to pay $1 and you don't even have to put in your credit card details, which is absolutely incredible. And if you did decide to stay with Moosend, after you go past 1,000 subscribers, you will have to go into the Pro plan, which is only $8 per month, and that is like 1,500 subscribers. And you also get 5 team members and landing pages as well as transactional emails, especially good for e-commerce. Now, this price is the cheapest literally on the internet for this type of functionality. Mailchimp, I know, costs a lot more. MailerLite, also the same thing. So this is an incredible price that you're getting for Moosend. Once again, you can get started for free. So I highly recommend jumping in and having a little play with it. Okay, so once you actually get signed up and ready to go, this is the dashboard that you will most likely come and see. Now you will see there's a little onboarding sequence going on right here. Basically, what it's going to ask you to do first is add in a new from, name, and email address. So the first thing you want to do is come here and click on yes. Now, you may have an email address already here like so. The reason mine is here is I'm actually on an enterprise account and I gave this account access. It's like a sub account. But if your sender is not here, basically all you need to do is click on add new sender, type in a name and an email address. So it could be whatever it is, right? And it's just going to ask you to verify the account. Now, just to let you know, they don't like taking in domains that don't have anything on the website, and they also don't take free email addresses, right? So it has to be a branded email from your company or your website, I should say. If it's not, there's a good chance that they're actually going to not allow that website to be sent, and that's just to save it from people sending out spam, right? It's just going to save it from, you know, their deliverability getting affected because they do deliver emails really well. So once you've done that step, you can go through these if you wish. I'm just going to show you how to do it manually, just so you know for the future. So the next step we're actually going to do is come right down to mailing lists. And what we're going to do is create a new mailing list. Now for this particular one, I'm going just to call it a newsletter just because a lot of people will be using it initially for newsletters. So I'm just going to call this the LMR newsletter, LMR being legit marketing reviews. And I'm going to go ahead and click save. And right there and then we have got our newsletter. Now, if you already have a list, you can import your list here. Basically, you can import it with CSV or Excel or all that sort of stuff. If you want to see what it actually looks like once a email contact is in there, I'll just quickly throw one in just so you can see what the contacts look like. Yes, I've verified, add member. So once you go to mailing lists, this is basically how your mailing list is going to look. It's going to have your people's contacts inside of here, the active, when they were on, all that sort of good stuff. So once you import the people, it's going to fill up here nicely. It's going to list them all inside of here, and you can go ahead and start segmenting them inside of that. Now, I'm not going to get into too much into segmenting today, but I also am going to show you a lot of extremely powerful stuff. So first of all, we'll go into campaigns. Now, I want you to think of a campaign as an email, right? So if you were to send out a newsletter, if it was just a one-off type of newsletter, what you would do is send a campaign. However, if you wanted to send a autoresponder sequence, I will go into automations in a second, which is probably what most people are going to do. Now, just to show you the example, this is what you would do if you want to send out a newsletter. You'll come to campaigns on the left, you click on create a new campaign. I'd usually choose regular campaign. There is split testing as well, but most people will just be regular. So all I'm going to call for this is, as it is the 3rd of February today, so I'll call it 3rd Feb campaign. Now the campaign name is just for internal use, something just to remember. You can just do it so you remember it, right? So I might even add some extra things. Subject is, it's February already. Can't even spell February. Here's what's happening, just to give you a quick idea. Now there's a preview text here. If you've ever looked at your email app on your phone, you'll notice there's like a few lines of text below it. The cool thing about Moosend is you can actually edit that inside of here. So for this example, I'm going to say, hey, what a crazy year it's been already. Who would have thought ... So that's leaving a bit of curiosity there. Sender, I've got my sender, I'm going to choose that. If you want to put a reply to that's different to the one you're sending from, you can actually choose that inside of there as well. And if you want to send confirmations, you can send them to that as well. Now, if you want to add Google Analytics to your campaigns, if you're that sort of analytical type person, you can do so here, but just make sure in the settings tab in the top right, you've actually got Google Analytics, the code added. If you just turn it on and you haven't added a code, nothing's going to happen. Okay, so that's real easy. Now, what I'm going to do is go next, and it's going to say what campaign. So I would tick on this one, and it's going to send to the entire list, which I would be happy with. Go next, right? It's going to ask for a format, and this is actually where we create the template or the campaign, the email campaign. So they've got two things here. There's an import campaign button if you've already created templates before, or you could go ahead and create the email using the campaign editor. And the good thing about Moosend is they've got some really cool templates, and the editor has become so much better than it used to be, right? So to give you an example, here on the left is all the elements, everything like that. What I highly recommend you do if it's your first time is come to the top to template library. Reason being is they've got a load of pre-made templates here. It's going to save you a lot of time. Look for the sort of style you're going for, and we can just delete what you don't need. I personally like this one here. It's kind of cool. So what I'm going to do is click on use template. You can preview it if you wish as well. I'm not going to hold up too much of your time though, so I'm going to get straight into it. So as you can see, we have got the email editor nice and created. Text is finally loaded. So here's what it's currently looking like, which is actually really cool. Now, just to show you how it works, we've got two sections here, right? This one is basically the row, and the top one is the element. So the element in this case is the image. The row is the container that it's in. So for this example, I'm just going to show you how to actually move things around and delete it, that sort of stuff. So if you wanted to say move this text to a different area, hold on the little compass and you can see you can drop it wherever you want, right? It's really easy. If you wanted to delete an element like this image, you can just click on that, right? And it's deleted. And if you wanted to delete the entire columns, you can do so here. So what I'm going to do just to speed things up is just delete all the things I don't need. This is basically how I create my emails. I find a nice template with, say, a good header and a good footer and maybe a few good components in the middle, and then I'll just delete everything I don't need. And as you can see right now, I've got a short email, but it looks super sharp. I've got all the social media things at the bottom right, super easy to use. Now to edit it, it's very easy as well. Simply click on it. And as you can see, all of the elements are here to rock and roll. So let's just say, man, what a crazy month Jan was so far. Jan was. Are you looking forward to what comes next? Right. And if you wanted to add things like, links in here, say for this button, Click on the button on the left, you've got link. It's going to open it in a new tab. If you wanted to add links inside of your content, just highlight it, double click, right? And you can add things like links here. So you can add it all. It's very, very, very easy to navigate. So just basically play around with it. If you want to change images, super easy to do. Once again, click on image picker. You can drop things, you can upload things. It's got access to Unsplash. It's all integrated. You can even go on your drives. Very, very easy to do, right? But basically, I'm not going to show you too much about how to edit an email. It's extremely straightforward, but I will show you about the mobile newsletter. Now, this is very interesting. I see they've got some sort of thing going on with the Android emails and the Samsung emails. I'm not sure what that exactly means, but it only shows up once and then it's gone. And as you can see, it looks really nice and mobile, which is cool as well. So when you're ready to actually send a test, up the top you see the send test button. It works extremely well, and you'll notice that there is no unsubscribe button at all here on the page. And the reason being, it just adds one to the bottom left if you wish to put it there, or else you can actually put it in manually. To do so, you just highlight the text that you want to use, and then you come over here to this little down drop button, right, and click on that, and there's the unsubscribe link button there, and it fills it in. Sometimes it looks a little bit whack like this, so you've just got to give it a font size. For example, bring it down to 14, and you can see it's the same. Most people, when it comes to this, they'll actually put it in their footer, but I was just showing you basically what it looks like. So it's all good. So now that I'm happy with this email, what I'm going to do is click update campaign and continue, and I'm going to click OK. And let's get on to the next step. Alright, so here we are. It says here we can send a design and delivery test if we wish. We can also do a content spam one. If you click on this, it's going to show you a spam report of the email that you have. It's pretty much just going to test it to show you how it's going to go. It's very good in case you are talking about, very sort of nervous type topics, which is things to do with money, because it can be highly targeted as spam. So if you want to check how your email is doing, you can go ahead and send a test, and you can do that if you wish. Now, if we move forward, there is also the delivery. You can schedule your campaigns, or you can do it immediately. And you can also click this button here, which is going to resend your campaigns to the subscribers that didn't open it, which is a very powerful tool. And once you're finished, here is the snapshot. Basically, what the snapshot is going to do is show you all about your campaign, how it's gone, everything that's happened, and it's going to basically look like that. So it's very easy. So that is what you would do if you wanted to send a one-off newsletter. However, if you wanted to send an email automation campaign, which I expect most people to actually do, what you do is a little bit different, but it's part of the same. Right, so here we are on the Moosend automation builder. Basically what we're going to do is quickly create a quick automation just to show you how it works. So what we're going to do is click on create new automation, and it's going to come up with a series of different sort of pre-made sequences that we can actually choose. It's extremely good for e-commerce and re-engaging with people, but to start with, just to familiarize yourself, I highly recommend you just use the welcome email sequence. So what I'm going to do is click on that, and within a few moments you are going to see this particular automation pre-created, ready to roll. Now, just to give you a sort of idea of how everything works, the black one is the trigger. This is how people are actually going to come on your campaign. We'll edit that in a second. You've also got your time periods here where people can wait. Then you've also got your actions, which is basically what you're going to do. On the top, we've got an option to edit the campaign name. Highly recommend you edit it, especially if you get more than one campaign. It's easy to navigate. So I'm going to call this the LMR Newsletter Welcome. All right, like so. Click on Save Automation Name, and it is done. And now you'll also see there it's incomplete right now. Basically, it means the automation isn't complete. It is not a fully edited sort of automation, so it won't actually work. And if you click on there are 12 tasks pending, it's going to show you what is empty, what you need to do. I don't usually worry about this too much. Basically, I just go through each step. So to show you how to add and remove things, it's very easy. For this particular example, I'm just going to show you these first 3 bits because that's all you really need to know. Everything else is really easy from there. So to delete some parts, the first part is actually click on the right. You'll see a little negative button. Click it again and it deletes. You can always undo it if you wish as well. So what I'm going to do is delete the parts I don't need, right? Like so. Super easy to do. And now we're ready to rock and roll. If you wanted to add anything, you can actually add things in the middle as well. What you want to do is click on the plus. Now you've got two different options here. You've got the conditional or the control steps, and then you've got the action. Basically, this is where your time's going to be, your splits, your filters, things like that. And your actions is going to be what happens. You've got things like send emails. You've also got things like unsubscribe from lists, trigger other automations, or if you're into e-commerce or into webhooks like courses, things like that, you've got the webhook option there as well. Very cool indeed. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, the first thing inside of here, you'll notice once I've deleted everything, the tasks have diminished. What we want to do is add this person to a trigger, or this list to a trigger. You've got two options here. If you want to trigger it on every first subscription or for every subscription, I highly recommend just leaving it on the default trigger only on the first subscription, or else people are going to get it multiple times. Next, you want to click on trigger list. And now there is multiple options. You can see all these dots at the bottom right. There's loads of different reasons why someone would come into this list. It can be very, very technical, and you can learn it over time. If this is your first time on Moosend though, complete this particular example that I'm going to show you right now, just to not get you confused. So what you want to do is come over to the second one. It's not this actual particular one. You want to go to the third one. And here you can see when someone subscribes to a specific list, this is what we want to click on. And basically what it means is each time someone comes to this list, they're going to start this workflow. So there we are, LMR newsletter, that's the down thing, click on save. Now each time someone gets subscribed to this list, they're going to get through this automation sequence. Very easy to do. Now, some people, if they join a newsletter list or they want to join like a lead magnet or something like that, people like to let them wait about 10 minutes. Reason being, usually people direct them somewhere else afterwards. So if that is the case for this particular example, what you want to do is click on the time specific interval, and then you've got here either a specific date, very good for product launches, or you can just put wait for a time interval. And for here, I'm just going to put 10 minutes. You can also choose days, hours, and months as well. I'm just going to make this person wait for 10 minutes. Click on save. So that one is ready to go. Now finally, to get this email campaign automation sort of completed, we need to edit the email campaign itself. So it's really easy inside of Moosend. Recently, they've made it so you can actually edit the email inside of the flow while you're creating the automation. They never used to have that, so I'm very impressed with it. All you need to do is click on the email. Now you can actually edit the entire email right here. So the subject is going to be congratulations, you're in, which is good. Sender, choose your name, and then you want to click on use the campaign designer. Okay. Now this is going to open the builder like it did earlier, which is really cool because it's extremely easy to use. So what I'm going to do is actually just recreate the last sort of template that I used. Once again, template library. I'm going to choose this one like so. Click on OK. All right. Very easy to do. And then I'm just going to go ahead and delete all these big columns. I'm actually going to check don't show me this again just to save some time. There we go. It's a lot easier. Okay. Delete, 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 delete. Happy with that. Looks good. Mobile version looks good. Happy days. So I'm going to go ahead and click update campaign and continue. I'm going to click on OK. It's just saying if there's no unsubscribe link, it's going to add one to the bottom left, which is fine. And in a few moments, we're going to come back to the automation dashboard like so. And as you can see, once it's loaded, there we go. So it's in. So what you want to do now is here it is. You can see there's the preview of what it's going to look like. It's going to say how many emails per day cap that you want to send. If it is like a newsletter, you want as many people as possible. So you want to send as many emails as possible. So just click unlimited and go ahead and click save. Now you will probably notice that there is also another little thing at the bottom. And this is an action list, right? So I'm just going to quickly touch on it. I don't want to get too in depth with it. Basically, what you can do inside of here is add a few different conditions or actions depending on what people do on your email. The most common I think people will most probably use is if they went to say the conditional here, went to filter, which is the if condition or else. And then if they say click on add a condition, and then what they want to do is they want to see if people are actually opening the campaign or not. So if they opened any campaign, or they can open campaign name, whichever one you want to have, if campaigns clicked, things like that. You choose the campaign that you want to do. So for example, this is the one I've just created, and then click on save. you'll notice it actually creates a split. So if this person has opened the campaign, which is this email here, I can do different things in the actions, or if they didn't, I can also do different things. For example, I could resend another email, I could change them to another list, all of that sort of good stuff. That's all there, and it's all possible using this particular thing, right? So it's very easy to do. It's very easy to use, but basically once you're finished with it, all you need to do is click on the inactive. Now it is active. Now you can add things here later if you wish. It doesn't need to be completed because it's not a block, but it's all ready to go. So this campaign is now working. So that's really easy to use. I do love their new automation builder. The old one was very terrible, but now it is very user friendly. So what else have we got? First of all, I'll show you the integrations because I know a lot of people want to use integrations. So we've got things like Wordpress, Zapier. We've got also things like LeadsBridge, which is very good for different types of things. Things like Continually, which is like a messenger bot. If you do use Elementor, I know a lot of other platforms have this as well. I'd use Elementor for a few platforms. You can have a plugin called Moo Elements, which is an Elementor Moosend integration thing, which is free that you can get. Just a little side sort of note there if you want to use it. But they've got enough here to keep you going. There's also Zapier, so I mean you can connect it with everything. And there's also WordPress for forms. Unfortunately, they don't integrate with Divi, which is a pain in the bum. I love Divi, but regardless, they do integrate with Elementor, which is more than enough for me. And finally, we've got a reports tab. This is a brand new account, and so I can't really show you too much about it, but here you can see what's happening inside of your business. Basically, it's going to show you opt-ins, emails, everything like that. And the last feature I want to show you is the landing page. Now, I'm just going to quickly rush through it. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, inside of here, you want to click on Create New. It's going to ask you about your landing pages, so I'm just going to call this the newsletter welcome, right? Page title, newsletter welcome once again. Meta description, I'm just not going to worry about it. You can also add your favicon inside of here too. I'm going to click on next, and it's going to start going into the designer, which is really cool. Now, if I say take me to the designer, you'll notice it's exactly the same as the email designer, which is very cool. You know, it's extremely easy to use, except these are more web templates rather than email templates. So for this example, I'll just choose something nice and easy. Say this one here. Okay, so I'm going to click on OK. I'm not going to go through editing a landing page. You guys should already know how that works. However, I should mention the only difference that you need to worry about on this page is the email opt-in, the fields. Reason being, if you are creating multiple landing pages, right, you are going to want to change your lists. So all you need to do is click on the form field, come down here to the left, and you'll see this select mailing list. If you've got more than one, you can also add them inside of here as well, but you know exactly how to create a mailing list. Now, choose the one that you want. You can add a display message, or you can actually redirect them to different pages. You can do so here. I'm just showing you where that all is. For this example, I'm just going to leave it nice and basic. So once you've done that, click on proceed to next step. I'm just going to click on OK here. Everything inside of the designer is extremely straightforward. If I've missed something, I just wanted to quickly show you how to create it. And once that's done, it's going to ask us for our social media metadata basically as well. So I'm just going to put newsletter welcome. Inside here is what it's going to show up on Facebook and Twitter, things like that. You can also put in your social sharing image inside of there. I'm not going to worry about it for this example. You guys should already know how to do that. So I'm going to click on next. Now inside of here, you can actually add in your Google Analytics. You can also add in your Facebook Pixel. If you've got those handy, definitely throw those in. It's very powerful stuff. And you can also add a cookie warning if you wish. It's entirely up to you. Next, we have the publishing. We have got the domain path and the URL here. Now, just to let you know, there is also a WordPress plugin that you can actually have, so you can host it on your WordPress page, which is really good. But basically, here is where you would change your custom domain if you've added one, and also the URL. So I'm just going to go ahead and click next. And finally, here is the finished product. It is all ready to roll. It's got our tracking. It's got the page URL and domain we've chosen. All we need to do is go ahead and click publish, and that is good to go. So if I go to this web page now, here is our landing page. If I look at it at the mobile view, this is what it's going to look like so. So it's mobile responsive, looks really nice. Basically, it's good to go. So I'm very happy with that. It's very easy to do. That was a very quick tutorial on it, but basically I wanted to show you the power of it. There's obviously so many other features that we can go into as well, but that is the basics of it. That's more than enough to get you up and running. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to jump behind the camera once again. I just want to talk about a few extra things. Okay, so that was Moosend. As you can see, it's a very powerful and easy tool to use. Once again, it is absolutely free to get started. There is a link in the description if you want to help support the channel. Hopefully that has given you enough of a Moosend tutorial to actually get started with the platform itself. It is going to serve you for a very long time, especially the further and more in depth you get with it. There is a lot of features. Don't get too consumed with it to start with. Just go through what I have shown you and you will be working and can go from there. Apart from that, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this Moosend review. It is a powerful tool. It is one of my favorite email marketing tools now, as it is so easy to use. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe for more videos. And check out the description. There is loads of bonuses and product reviews that I highly recommend. So make sure you check those out. That's it from me, guys. I hope to see you on another video.